Hello, everyone. Super excited to have you guys here. We are starting um, the November community call, and yeah, we're super excited to have everybody here. Post DEF CON was a very deep and quite hard time, and we have a lot of like news to share. We have a lot of things that we wanna kind of like share with everybody in the community. But most important, also like we want to show like who won some good hackathons around Linea, and also like showing some good and interesting insights about what we've been shipping lately and what happens during the past I would say couple of weeks or even months, right? Just to give a quick housekeeping, everyone, we are having these calls mostly around end of the week of every month. We're just trying to get this cadence on time. And yeah, as you can see, end of November, post DEF CON, and we have a lot of like things to cover, right? So let's just get into it. This time we're just changing a little bit like the kind of like the agenda style. We're always like finishing up with top hackathon winners and everybody that kind of like target our bounty lately and showing up in those in this developer community call. This time we kind of like avert. So we will have a cool presentation by the latest ETH Global Hackathon winners. Two really good, interesting projects. Jordan built this Pedro ETH, and Albin and Caron went through DACC. I hope I pronounced it correctly, homomorphic. And we will go through these two winning teams, and then we kind of move over with Declan. Declan, we kind of, I don't know if you saw it, what's happening during DEF CON, but we announced the Linea Association. He will also go through a little bit like presenting what happened on the association side. And then we have Moses also like giving us a quick presentation on Synapses Labs. So quick housekeeping, everyone. If you have any question, please feel free also to comment in the chat. We have a lot of like people tuning in, and always like remember, any question, feel free to jump in, any kind of remarks, any topics that you want us to cover next, always feel free to kind of like jump in and be sure that you're asking kind of like your question or your suggestion topic that you want to kind of cover. Cool. So let me kind of like after this kind of quick intros, I just want to make sure that everybody kind of like is into like why we're doing this linear developer community calls and why they're so important, right? We really want to share what is happening around the Linea ecosystem and how we're growing this kind of like developer ecosystem around Linea, highlighting not just great developers or hackathon winners, but also like our partners and develop to really like build cool things around and showing to everyone. So basically, like we're showing different things. We're showcasing technical demos. We are running those in a monthly cadence. So everybody that is building cool things want to kind of like come and present. Feel free always to outreach. But most important, also we want to show you guys what's happening next. So I think that's really important to give kind of like an update to everyone in the ecosystem to what is happening. Cool. So let's get it started. I will bring back our agenda, and I will invite Jordan on stage. Let me quickly like toggle in on how is going, Jordan. Super excited to be here. Are you tuning in from Zuconnect?
Yes, I'm touring from Zoo, Thailand, and
Nice,
so good
nice.
to see you, Francesco.
Same. How was your experience? How is your experience in Thailand right now?
It's very nice, very good crowd, lots of brainstorming. It's very vibrant. I love it.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and for anybody, I will let you introduce yourself, Jordan, but for everybody that doesn't probably know you, I think you presented a couple of times in our community calls, mostly because like you're being like winning a lot of bounties or doing a lot of like great building around the ecosystem, both on the Linea side and on the MetaMask side. But I'm definitely like super excited to hear what you build during ETH Global Bangkok. So without further ado, I give you this stage. I think you want to screen share for
Yeah.
presenting a couple of times, but feel free to introduce yourself.
Yes. If you can see it.
Yes, there you are.
Okay. I hope my connection
Perfect.
sustains.
Seeing you well.
Basically, what I built here is insurance protocol for gas price. If the gas price spikes, you don't want to pay that, especially if a protocol subsidizes the gas. It can run out of money if the gas spikes. And protocols suffer disruptions, and user experience is terrible if this spike occurs. And I'm trying to solve that problem. And everybody would have thought that gas is no longer an issue. It's 2024, but actually it's becoming a bigger issue than before because more demanding protocols are running using ZK verifiers, fully homomorphic encryption, etc. It's all millions of gas. So there are gas tokens on the market, Kai and Gas 2, but you'd have to hold them constantly, hold an asset that does nothing for you. And so what if we can have an insurance policy? Just buy an insurance and something like this. When gas price spikes, you just don't pay for this. Insurance pays for it. And how it would look on the protocol side, like any function that's gas demanding, if I can possibly build a MetaMask snap to just pass the gas needed to my function, then I would just add one line of code. And if the gas price exceeds certain limit, it will kick off the insurance and pay from there. So how is this made? I'm using options to achieve this, and namely American style call options, and they're out of the money in order to be considered insurance or cheap. So the red part is what you pay, and the green part, it can grow ad infinitum, is what you get. And how it works, these are call options. The call options ensure that if price goes up, the option kicks in. American style option, it means that the option can be exercised at any time, meaning that you can call on this insurance at any time the gas spikes, and they're out of the money. Out of the money means the options have no value when you buy them, but then if price of gas goes up, then suddenly they gain value, which you could use to pay for gas. And this is basically an order book decentralized exchange. I'm running an order book. Doesn't have to be this way, but to run an AMM is simply not very suitable because the prices of gas are quite erratic. And the economic model is simple. I charge 0.1% upon insurance exercise and upon purchasing of the insurance or premium. So I can run the demo. Basically, this thing is never going to have a front end because this all happens in the back end. So it's simply a series of tests. So let me just unshare this screen and share my my development environment and run the tests if I
Sounds
can
super
find.
interesting, Jordan. What is the tech stack that you be building this?
This is Solidity mostly, or all Solidity. Let me try to switch. Can you see my dev
Yes,
environment?
yes. You need to
So
probably like put it a bit bigger.
yeah, make it bigger.
Yeah, perfect. That's
Basically,
perfect.
I'm just gonna run the tests, and all the tests pass, and I can just show what the tests are, and uh, so let's wait for the test to complete. It takes a while. I have a video that kind of makes this shorter, but it does take a minute to run them all. Are we still connected?
Yes, yes. I can see that you start running the test.
Yeah. Okay.
So tech stacks
And
wise is quite
sorry, yeah,
straightforward, right? Yeah.
yeah. The here's how the tests pass. And yeah, the tech stack is merely Solidity. It's all written in Solidity.
Mhm.
It's an options protocol. The options protocol is connected to an order book for trading. Liquidity providers would just provide these options for sale, and the insurance purchasers would just buy insurance and put that one line of code in front of the complicated function. So uh, the tests, I can just show what's in the tests. Um, in the tests that just passed, I have all functions that I test to create a short. I test. I create an option. I create a short position. I test the purchase of an option. I test an exercise of an option or
Mhm.
exercising of insurance policy. Uh, Liquidation, the liquidity provider could be liquidated, and that's about it. So it's more or less very simple, but very useful.
That's very strong. And what's the plan to kind of like building this further? Like is the target specific like for this on the on this, or like what's the goal?
The goal is to maybe just deploy this.
Mhm.
I've deployed it on Linea testnet. It
Yeah,
uh, probably minor debugging has to be done for small issues of efficiency, and really just push it. There's the liquidity providers would run their own bots. There's it's just what you see is what you get. There isn't much more that I need to do. This project could become reality in a matter of a few weeks.
nice, nice. Sounds good. I see Pedro. Pedro, is there an option? Is this like so? How you got into like hacking on this? Like, was this kind of like a solo idea that you had for a long time, or you were inspired by specific like events?
Yeah, I didn't get the idea until Friday night of the hackathon. I saw the FHE guys, and they told me that they managed to shorten the cost of division down to 1 million gas. I said, okay, I'm hacking on that.
Nice,
Million
nice,
gas is a lot,
awesome.
even on layer two.
Yeah. It's definitely like getting something's more expensive. No, awesome, awesome. Okay, thank you so much, Jordan. And I think we will also like post the repo link. Hopefully you have a good time at ZooConnect next. And yeah, hopefully I see you probably, I don't know, around this Denver next.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Francesco, and I'm looking forward to see you next time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you so much, Jordan. I will untoggle you, and let's make sure also we share the repo link of Jordan and the team. Awesome. See you guys later. So next we are having Albina and Carol joining us. Let me see, where are you guys? So Carol, welcome on stage.
Hello, GM.
Hello, hello, GM. Also, they are calling from ZooConnect, right?
Yes, also Zoo Thailand. Yep.
Nice, nice. That's super exciting. And how is it going? Any lesson learned for us to know?
Pop-ups are awesome. Consider going to pop-ups yourself. Yeah, do sponsorships, stuff like that, because you can get really good feedback and develop on products with like short feedback cycle. So yeah, like
Nice,
that's for like
nice.
Linea. But yeah.
Nice. Awesome, awesome. Cool. Okay, without kind of further ado, I give you guys the stage. Feel free also to introduce yourself. So you guys build dark homomorphic. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, feel free to give it away.
Yeah, honestly, I would just go into the presentation.
Hmm.
It's gonna be first just some what we build high level, then like context about the topic of biometric data and brain computer interfaces, and then Albina's gonna walk through the UI demo. So basically, there's like two different kinds of users: people that want to collect data and they make these methodologies, and that's like on the bottom part. And they create some bounty, and in the bounty they say that, hey, I want you to look at some images for some period of time. I need this many participants, and this is how much money I'm going to give you. And this gets put into the contract. And then you have the data owners, basically people that have some biometric sensors, and like our case study was brain-computer interfaces. And they would go through this data methodology that somebody put up and then upload that data. And then the person that requested it can submit code requests to the people that provided the data, and then the data owners can accept them or not. And this is basically a Python library called PySift. And yeah, if people accept these code requests that the data scientists send, they get paid. And yeah, in turn, the data scientists can basically get, for example, information on like they put up some videos of using the app, or yeah, just have people use their app, and then they can get like emotion data, or they can train a, I don't know, imagine speech to text model. This is what we showcased. And like the tech, it's PySift is like for federated training, so multiple people, they put these their data into these data site structures, and then they can approve or reject code requests which get sent to them. And then there's Tensil, and this is like an image of Tensil. Basically, once there is an existing model, people can send their encrypted data to the model, and then yeah, get an encrypted result which they can decrypt for themselves. So for example, if you want to do brain to text, and a company provides that model, you can send them your encrypted data. They get you, like they process it on your yeah, with that model, and then you get the output and you decrypt it yourself. And yeah, honestly, the feedback loop would be kind of intense, but still. And basically for the hackathon, we made this contract for the bounty creation and submission of data. It's not like fully fleshed out the app, but yeah. And then people can complete these bounties, and yeah, basically facilitate this data sharing, like biometric data sharing with ETH. And like now it's the high level context, because there's this topic of brain computer interfaces. It can go pretty well in the future. Like now there's like implants with Neuralink, and in some utopian universe, we're gonna access online information just as we access our memories or communicate brain to brain. And it would be ideal if you had data ownership and open hardware BCIs. And just like some more context on these things, there's streamers, for example, Perry, she plays, she's on YouTube as well. She plays games by thinking of actions or slightly moving her body, and that's good content for her audience of her playing Minecraft. And on the opposite edge of like invasive BCIs, there's Nolan. Then he can control his mouse by thinking about it. And kind of funny, there was also a recently launched Nolan token. But yeah, so basically there's non-invasive stuff and invasive stuff. And the point of this project is people that have these headsets or just biometric data collection in general can earn money by providing it or by fulfilling bounties. And yeah, again, you want the privacy of the mind, so we need the open source stuff. And we found out that it's pretty like there are some devices that you can make like with open hardware. You just go to the GitHub repo, you copy it, then you send in a quote, and you can make these things yourself as well. And they're also comparable in quality with like good stuff on the market. And like why it kind of matters in the context of crypto, there are some actors, like for example Tether, they invested $200 million in BlackRock Neurotech, which is a competitor to Neuralink. And yeah, when you're going to have those things, maybe you want to do like process your data in an encrypted way or earn money from it instead of just sending it all over. And yeah, same stuff with Fred Esram. He's the co-founder, like one of the co-founders of Paradigm and Coinbase, and now he's making this company Nudge, which is basically brain-computer interface for sending ultrasound in your brain for doing things like helping you with anxiety or ADHD. So yeah, this is kind of like a small break in the how to make it safe when you have those devices. And now we're gonna, like Albina's gonna start showing the UI of the app and like how the contract works and like the demo.
Yes, thank you. Let me take over the screen sharing. You should be able to see my screen right now. So I want to share with you the app that we developed during the hackathon, and I would say that it's like an MVP version of the app that should exist in the future. Right now, we have a smart contract deployed on Linea for creating bounties. I'm already connected with my wallet, and here I have some test bounties already on chain, but we are basically querying our contract on chain through using the graph. And right now it's on Linea's Cipolla testnet. And yeah, I can basically create a new bounty. I will just say test, and just to say that it's being deployed. Sorry to check. Yes. Oh no.
I think that's minus 24, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me try again real quick.
I always like live demos.
Yes, let's do one. And yeah. Yes, now I can, thank God it works. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it works.
I think we didn't see the MetaMask pop up, but yeah.
Um,
Oh no, we did. Oh,
we
nice.
did, we did,
Oh,
we
it's
did.
good, yeah.
We did see and I did confirm it, and it should take some time. But yeah, that being said, I probably will show the methodology part that we can go through. So when the bounty is created, there is this methodology training part. There is some consent form, and
This is basically like an imagine speech-to-text data collection methodology adapted from a paper called Mind Speech, and it's a company that also makes this headset, collects data from users to do imagine speech-to-text. So you think of words and then you go through them. And basically, like in the previous screens, you had like a topic word and some words highlighted in bold, and then you basically have to think of sentences and type them down. And this company like raised from Y Combinator, and they are trying to do this imagine speech to text thingy. And
yes, and then then when you submit the bounty, it's gonna appear here, and then you can get the code requests for the bounty, and you can approve or reject it, and that bounty will be run. That code request will be running on your bounty, and somebody will train their models on your data.
and like the code, like in the backend, we have this thing in Python with the code requests and the data size structure, which is in
Yes,
Python.
actually, let me share
But-
that as well.
Yeah, but basically, like in the backend, the thing works in the front end. Now you can just see the code request, but it doesn't actually interact. But yeah.
Yes. Yes. So yes, we have some data pipeline here, like the test data pipeline of what would be happening with your data. Yeah, Karel, if you want to comment something on that, you can.
Basically, like you have a user, they make this data site structure, then you you create a user, the user can then log in. Like for example, it's you, Francesco, and then there's Albina. She wants to send a code request to you, but before she can do it, she needs to be registered by you in your data site structure. After you register her, she has a password. She logs in. She can send you the code request. You can look at it, and then you decide whether you approve it or not. And if you approve it, then you can execute it, and then it's gonna be processed. And in this example, we use like a cancer data set, breast cancer data set, but it uses Stencil, like this homomorphic encryption package where like it's your encrypted data that gets sent to the model, and the model then gives the output. So basically you have privacy related to it.
Yes, I think that's it for the demo.
Super cool. How you guys came to this idea?
I mean, combination of I like some years ago I saw this video of like Japanese scientists that put people in an MRI after they trained the model, and then people went to sleep, and then you could see videos of their dreams, and that's kind of wild. And then when I was doing my master in data science, I was doing emotion classification from EEG data, and I was like, that's kind of cool. And yeah, after I finished my internship at the Dutch Ministry of Justice, I was doing something related to explainability. It got again into brain-computer interfaces, so I was like, okay, I want to like hack on this topic. It seems interesting. There are some crypto actors that are also interested in it, and it can definitely, like, the field can definitely benefit from security, privacy, and revenue sharing of, you train a model, the model makes money, and then you do revenue sharing in between, yeah, you and the people doing inference.
Nice, nice. Yeah, we just share also like the repo specific. One last question, and I'll let you guys like also go afterwards. But any kind of like specific plan to kind of like build this further on the encryption side?
Yeah, basically manufacture hardware like
Mhm.
functional near infrared spectroscopy devices, and then collect data either at hackathons or just locally from home at people, but probably the former. And yeah, prove that the system works, that you can have this privacy, that you can train the models and stuff, and then yeah, kind of scale it up with hardware,
Yeah.
open hardware. But yeah,
Yeah, of course, the app needs a lot of work as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we're super excited also you guys deployed on Linea, and I definitely like want to hear more like how you guys kind of develop this further, and if you kind of find also like some specific like use case, like application specific. No, awesome, awesome. Anything else you guys want to share? How was your experience at ETH Global, like Bangkok itself, like any kind of like no sleep experience? Like I think like you've been building this for what, 48 straight hours. Um, I think definitely like was not an easy hacking. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not easy, and I was sick during the hackathon, so it was also not fun. But in the end, it seems like it worked out pretty well. It was like my third hackathon ever, and
Nice.
the first time when we won like real prizes. So yeah, in the end, it was like a success, and yeah, we were happy. And thank you so much for the prize as well.
Awesome, awesome. No, that was great. I think highlighting especially like on the encryption like use case, I think it's something that we definitely care a lot. Like I think it's super specific, but also like very impactful.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So thank you so much, Sabina, Carol. I will just
Thank
untoggle you guys, bring back the agenda, and thanks so much. And I hope to see you guys next, either on the Denver or like the next six globals.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank
Are
you.
you going to ETH Global in Prague?
Yeah, so we have yes, we have a plan right now. We're planning all kind of like next quarters, but definitely like ETH globals are on the radar.
Ah, okay, okay. I will definitely
Yes,
be on the one in Prague.
yes, yes. And this
Same.
year Prague was really good. It was really good. Like we had also like good Linea bounties, but also like the local ecosystem is very strong.
Oh, yes, it's amazing. Yes, and this year it will be connected ETH Prague and ETH Global in Prague. So it
Nice.
should be big. So yeah,
Yes,
see you
awesome,
there if
awesome,
you'll be there.
awesome, awesome. Okay, thanks,
Goodbye.
Sabina. Thanks, Carol.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye. Okay, so let's continue the convo. So next, I will invite Declan on stage, and yeah, is our almost our usual monthly speaker, Declan. I hope how is going? How is everything?
Hey, Francesco. Hey, everyone. Yeah, going good. Glad to be back for another community call.
Nice.
So,
How's your experience in DEF CON
DevCon was
after all
great.
the announcements? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, super, important time for the Linea community. But actually I thought the vibes in DevCon were really strong. The more like broader
yeah.
developer and Ethereum ecosystem, some really exciting projects, a lot of excitement. So yeah, I had a
I was
great
definitely
time. And
impressed.
Bangkok was a great city as well.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed about all the kind of like the builders, excitement, also like very smart kind of like player in the ecosystem were around like DEF CON and a lot of like good announcement. I'm definitely like excited about the Lean Association, all your talks and the team talks and uh, for the people that here they didn't saw, we launched the Lean Association and yeah, you have some slide Declan that you want to share. But before, like, feel free also to introduce yourself to the small amount of people that are hearing us in this live stream.
Yes. Hey everyone. So for those who haven't seen me before, I'm Declan. I lead the product team at Linea. So looking over the whole product roadmap, the protocol, what we're building, making sure that we're building a developer platform that makes it really easy for you guys to build amazing applications that bring more people on chain. So I always say if there's anything that we can do on the core protocol side to make it easier for you to build amazing applications, then drop into my DMs on Twitter or hit up any of the Linea team, and we're happy to kind of discuss that and try and get it included. So so I want to present today a little bit more information on the Linea Association. I have a few slides, so let me see how I can screen share. Cool. I think
you are.
this
Yes,
format's okay.
we can see it.
Yeah. Okay, I already gave you an intro. That's my Twitter handle if you want to give me a follow and stay up to date with all the product updates.
The frog. There you are.
The frog, that's my frog. Yeah, eFrogs. Big up the Croak community. Okay, so just a quick sort of context building. So some lore on Linea. We've been doing this for a very long time. We started off looking at Ethereum 2 and scaling back in 2018. Did a lot of research, more research around rollups specifically, 2019, 2020, 21. And eventually we realized that it can be done to scale Ethereum with rollups in 2022. And then we launched Linea Mainnet Alpha last year, 2023. And now the rest is history, right? Linea's has a peak over 50 TPS, $1 billion in TVL. And we've got over 420 amazing partners and builders and more coming as well, which is super exciting. So that's the background. Linea's goal, just to kind of remind everyone, is to make Ethereum affordable forever without compromising on security and decentralization. So we want to make sure that transactions are cheap no matter how many people are interacting with the Linea mainnet. And we want to do that without compromising on these core values of security and decentralization. And we've been moving towards these different goals. Firstly, on the scale side, you can see here a nice graph of how we've scaled Linea over the quarters since mainnet. We're now at around 15 megagas per second, which is I think the joint most of any EVML2, and the goal is to kind of increase 20% quarter over quarter. On the security side, we're doing a lot around CKVM. The fact that it's an EVM equivalent rollup means you have the same specification. We have lots of different clients available on Linea, Geth, Bezu, Nevermind, Aragon, so great client diversity. Everything's open source. And then we have our decentralization roadmap, which is kind of getting into the core piece I want to talk about with the association. So we actually published this roadmap before we even launched the Linea mainnet. So we wanted to really let everyone know that our goal was to reach full decentralization, but do it in a sort of progressive and thoughtful way. And we're currently wrapping up phase 1. So we have a new release coming soon called Beta V1, which will get us to 100% coverage in phase 1. And we're also very close to doing phase 2, which is to diversify the Security Council. And then we have phase 3 here. And so you have two pieces. One is to decentralize the operators, which is the sequencer, so the component that builds the blocks, processes your transactions on Linea, and also the prover, so the zero knowledge magic, where we generate a proof of those transactions and send it to Ethereum for verification. And then we have this other piece, which is to decentralize governance. And this is what's really relevant to the association, because by decentralizing governance, we're putting the sort of the power of the Linea ecosystem in the hands of the community. So we're now, up till now, most of the direction of the Linea ecosystem and development has been by the core Linea team. And with the Linea Association, this is going to enable the community to kind of continue that path and progressively take control over the future direction of Linea mainnet and the technology as well. So I'm going to skip a little bit on here. So I want to get right into the decentralization piece. So, and just sort of a quick reminder that in terms of the technology itself, so Linea technology, which powers Linea mainnet, that's all open source. So everything, the source code is completely available under a permissive license, Apache 2. And we've already started to onboard other teams to actually help build out the technology. So Status is one team. We had them on, I think, a couple of community calls ago. SIP came on and gave a great presentation.
Yes.
And so that's really important, because if only one team can understand the technology and sort of update it and maintain it, you're not actually decentralized. So it's really cool, because now we have another really impressive engineering and research team who's able to continue the journey for Linea if for whatever reason, the Linea core team or engineers were to disappear, which of course we're not, but like, don't trust, verify. And so we have this decentralization in the development as well. So we announced at DevCon the Linea Association, which is going to be a Swiss, well, it isn't going to be, it's already established, a Swiss non-profit organization. The cool thing about the Linea Association is essentially it gives token holders rights, legal protections and rights, which is quite unique. And so token holders will be able to vote on proposals to update, the protocol, to drive new incentives and initiatives that further the ecosystem. So they'll be able to do all these sort of like amazing things around the governance. The association itself has three sort of core responsibilities, I'd say. One is to actually make sure that the technology itself continues to evolve and be maintained and developed to support Linea mainnet and other sort of Linea enabled chains. It's to advance the Linea mainnet itself. Okay, so making sure that the ecosystem is healthy, that we're supporting great initiatives that you guys are building out there as developers. And the third piece as well is to essentially help design the governance mechanisms and decentralized staking improver, which will come later down the line. So actually, when we decentralize the sequencer improver in the future, the association will also be responsible for making sure that that is bootstrapped effectively. Okay. And so something that's really unique, which we'll be posting like more information on in blog posts and articles, is that the association gives token holders sort of legal protections. Okay, so when a proposal goes to the DAO, as soon as it's voted on and approved, that then gets handed over to a Linea association, which has a board of directors, and they now become legally liable to execute this proposal. Okay, so some sort of a tax and liability perspective, token holders are completely separate from the execution of the demands of the DAO. And this is unlike anything that's available today in the ecosystem. So really is a sort of step improvement on how decentralized governance is implemented across like Ethereum L2s and even other sort of blockchain or decentralized governance mechanisms. So again, this is something that's super interesting because it's going to enable more people and more entities to participate in the governance, right? Because a lot of people don't participate in DAOs and decentralized governance because there's a lot of uncertainty around the legal side, the liability, the tax. And so this is really unique and it's only enabled through this sort of legal Swiss structure. Again, we'll be doing lots of more sort of blog posts and thought pieces on this to kind of help explain to people why this is really special for you to kind of participate in.
And this, sorry to ask, Declan, so this kind of mechanism is basically like smart contract based, right?
Yeah. So it's a mix. So like you'll still have the sort of smart contracts for like the token and the governance contracts, and this is the kind of like standard that you see across like other DAOs. So when there is a vote, it goes to the actual smart contract, and when there is a sort of majority or a quorum, it gets approved. But the sort of legal framework around the Swiss entity itself, that is an off-chain thing. So that is like a fully sort of set of off-chain contracts that are liable in global jurisdictional law, which is the real unique thing here. So we're sort of combining the on-chain and the off-chain world. So yeah, it has both. So obviously we announced the token to help power this decentralized governance. The ticker will be Linea. The plan is to launch this in Q1. Again, lots of things to sort of iron out before we can launch this successfully. And so the idea is for us to do something a little bit different, which is to try and do this in the open. So I think one of the feedback that I got was that, some teams will decide a lot of things, in their own sort of echo chamber, I suppose. But we felt that like the community, the builders and the users of Linea have been such a crucial part of the journey so far that we should obviously engage with everyone and like try and come to a consensus on, the future like governance structure and token and everything. So we're going to be posting more information on our community forums. If people haven't checked out the community forum yet, you should definitely go and take a look. There's lots of interesting conversation already happening there, which is amazing to see. And we're definitely paying a lot of attention and trying to engage where possible. Also our Discord as well, but it can be a bit noisy. So the forum is nice to have a sort of more persisted conversation. But yeah, like we want to do this in the open and with everyone very transparently. So yeah, that's kind of it. Short and sweet. We're going to be sharing a lot more information on the governance, like I mentioned. So expect maybe a blog post in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, and then obviously, again, the idea of this is to make sure that the sort of future direction of Linea is controlled by the community. And so this is a big step in our decentralization roadmap that I shared. So yeah, very exciting moment for us as a team.
Nice. Yeah, we even had like, I think it was last week, like a cool space with Cam on governance in Web3 governance in Linea specifically, but it was actually really good insight. I think it's incentivizing not just users or specific like transaction owners, but also like builders around the ecosystem, because
Yeah.
we would definitely want to get the amplification out there, but also giving instrument to builders around the ecosystem, not just to deploy it on Linea, but having this kind of like tooling, dev tooling offering.
100%. Yeah, I think the cool thing is we've got lots of very smart people who have been in governance for a long time, on-chain governance. So that combined with like the community that we've got as well, which I realized at DevCon is a real strong community. It was amazing to see a lot of people in person and get direct feedback on like what we should do. It's nice because it means that there's less pressure on me to make decisions, or I can kind of rely on a lot more people, which is super nice. It's almost like the purpose of my job is to become redundant in some ways. And so this is kind of like one step towards doing that, which is super cool.
Speaking about that, like how kind of like community contributors or core contributors can actually like give you those feedbacks today? Like, is there like specific like channels through those proposals in Discourse, in the community forum, or like any specific like grants? Because I see also like bunch of like builders and founders like going for grants and giving feedback directly to you. But any specific kind of like best scenario that you wish to have?
Yeah, so for the upcoming like TGE and token launch, if people want to share some ideas, and they already are, then Discourse, like the community forum, is the best place to do that, just because you can have like a single thread. It's a bit easier than Discord, in my opinion. Obviously, I've been dropping into Discord a little bit recently and having some great conversations with the community there. But it's tricky because we've got a lot to do, so I can't be there all the time. So yeah, share if you have amazing ideas, then share them there. Have the conversation, where like the Linea core team is reading that, we're participating, we're absorbing all the information that you give. And yeah, that's it really. Of course, I'm on Twitter as well, so if you always want to drop me a message on Twitter and DM, then like happy to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's always impressive, like when I see kind of like amplification of like community like contribution. You're building something cool, deploy on Linea. Like we are always there. We also like I don't know like life on Linea, what's happening also with all the kind of like you can tweet out whatever you're building. I think we're always very present and trying to get as much as feedback and be proactive on the community side too.
100%.
Awesome. So what's happening next, Declan? Like where you go? Is there some kind of like rest or like you never stop?
No rest yet. We've got like I think this Christmas will be, I'll spend a few days with the family, but otherwise, it's in, very critical time for the Linea community.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably going to be working very hard until Q1, and then maybe I'll take a little holiday after the TGE. Just take some rest. And but
Nice.
it's exciting at the moment. Like yeah, I think I'm getting really energized when I go into Discord and I see like builders, asking questions,
Yeah.
building applications, users as well, really engaged. Like that keeps me energized. So I'm not feeling like I need a rest at the moment. I'm feeling more sort of excited than ever.
Yeah. And we see that also like during kind of like Christmas, New Year, people have more time, so they keep like building stronger and stronger. I think that we saw that with the Linea Dev Cook-Off, like a lot of like cool like submission and virtual hackathon were happening, and we see like definitely like much more like builder awareness around that times.
Yeah, when you want to, get away from the family at Christmas dinner, you can go and build a DApp.
Exactly. What important deploy on Linea. Awesome. Cool. Declan, thank you so much. Then looking forward to invite you like again on January and February, and keep us updated on proposals. And I think like your Twitter is getting more and more active all the time, and I think it's also a great source of through on the decentralization path and also like the technical roadmap around a bunch of things.
Yeah, pleasure's mine. Good to see you all, and good to see you, Francesco. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks, Eka. See you guys later. Okay, so we are coming with the last quick side of this November community call. So I will invite now Moses from Synapse Labs. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Welcome, Moses. How is it going?
Hi, how are we doing?
All good. I can hear you loud and
Awesome.
clear.
Perfect. Yeah, we're having technical issues earlier, so I'm glad to have figured those out.
No problem. So how is going? You want to quickly introduce yourself? Do you have a presentation you want to share?
Yep. So I'll walk through a couple of things, but to quickly introduce myself, I'm Moses. I lead all operations at Synapse, which is a cross-chain bridge. And so today, kind of excited to talk about some of the stuff that we've been doing on Linea in the last 2 months or so, and then some of the stuff that we're building right now that we think is going to make the UX for people that are
Nice.
using Linea and some of the cool dApps there. So a bit of context on us. We are the first intent-based bridge to launch on Linea. And so we've launched, I think, around 2 or 3 months ago. And so far, we've done around $100 million in volume and have helped thousands of people on the chain to bridge. A quick sort of demo to kind of how this works and to kind of walk through some of the cool stuff that we sort of enable. It seems like you guys can see my screen here.
Yes, I'm just sharing it here.
Awesome. So Synapse as a bridge supports 22 chains today, and we're working on deploying a bunch of new chains as well. But we sort of our intent-based bridging is the most interesting part of this because now people can bridge effectively slippage-free in under 15 seconds between most L2s. And so just as a quick demo here, you can bridge ETH stables WETH to sort of any chain that you want. And the sizing on this can get like pretty large. So I think like you can sort of bridge 25 ETH with like almost no slippage here. And this bridge transaction will complete in somewhere between 3 and 5 seconds. We have this as like a lower bound, but one of the best bridging experiences to and from Linea today. So we've been working with a bunch of protocols in the ecosystem like ZeroLend to kind of build Synapse into their protocol in a way that they can, people can just go to the end app that they want to use instead of figuring out, how to bridge and where to bridge and that sort of thing. So we've been doing a ton of cool stuff around this. One thing that we're doing is trying to add different asset support. So for example, like the bridge actually does not support USDT, but we work with different DEXs on Linea such that a user can deposit USDT into the bridge and the swap can happen before the actual bridge transaction. So there's a ton of cool stuff there. We're happy to sort of, we're going to be integrating a bunch of new chains, opening up a bunch of new routes because we're finding that Linea users are all over the place in terms of DeFi, and making sure they can get to Linea cheaply and fastly is super important. So that's sort of a high level of the intent-based bridging stuff that we've launched. The second thing that I kind of want to spend and highlight here is something that we've been working on called Cortex. Cortex at a very high level is what we're calling the intelligence of crypto. It allows AI agents to sort of control the entire experience for users. And so what this basically means is that instead of, you having to figure out which dApp on Linea has a specific asset or where to, where's the highest yield at, you can actually talk to an AI agent that will figure this out for yourself. So I'm quickly just going to play this demo for us and kind of walk us through what's going on here. So here, we're seeing that we're asking the agent to check the balance, and there, you can prompt this different agent with a lot of different instructions. But here we're going, to go try to buy a token on Base, and the agent here is actually able to figure out the context behind this, figure out that you might want to leave some ETH on specific chains. What is the best route to get here? How do you consolidate funds on different chains to actually do this action? And so it does all this on behalf of you. It uses your biometrics to actually sign the transaction. So no longer do you have to approve and then sign transactions for 3 or 4 different things for something like this. It executes all the transactions and then will provide you a summary of what happened here. So the idea here basically is that the user experience in crypto has gotten really complicated. Someone tells you to bridge to Linea and you're like, well, what do I do here? What are the interesting dApps? Where do I get the highest yield? And this agent is able to figure out all of that information in real time for you. So we're really excited to sort of iterate on this and sort of share. We're going to be launching a beta for some members of the community here. But we think that this is going to be super helpful, for people, how do I interact with Linea? What do I do on Linea? Or do I just go follow some KOLs on Twitter to figure out the most interesting things that have been happening this week? So we're really excited to launch this. And so we'll be launching some new updates around this in the next couple of weeks. But that's a high level overview of kind of what we're doing over here at Synapse. And yeah, we're excited. We're seeing a lot of excitement around Linea. And so we're excited to kind of continue support there.
This is super cool. And it's amazing. Like 4 minutes before, I thought we were on time, we were not on time. It's really cool to be at. Actually, I'm following Synapse since quite a long time. You guys have been building also extra features. It's quite strong also the roadmap specific. You cannot share more, right? What is coming up next? I'm mostly interested to understand also how builders can contribute to the ecosystem. As mostly kind of here in the dev community calls, they're builders, founders, but also developer tooling ecosystem.
Yeah, for sure. So we actually have a ton of dev tooling stuff. Some people hate talking about this stuff, but I spent, the last week in Thailand at DevCon, and it was amazing to see, all the different stuff that people are building and, to really dig in the weeds. So at a really high level, we offer 3 main developer tools. And all of those are sort of how do you integrate Synapse into your application? An application can be a dApp, it can be some backend technology, it can be a service that you're offering. So what we see a lot of times with different applications will want to build bridging into their own front ends. They don't want users to go to synapseprotocol.com. They just want to have a bridge and a swap or a bridge and a stake or more complex interactions happening. And so we have an API and SDK. So developers can sort of interact with that from any framework that they're used to. And can, we have people sort of on board in 30 minutes. That's kind of the time frame that we want people to be, plug this in and to use their application. So we offer those, and we also offer a widget for people that don't really want to code that much. You can basically implement this bridging thing as an iframe. It's 3 lines of code, super simple. You can choose which chains people deposit from. You can choose which assets you support, and a bunch of cool stuff around that. So there's a ton of dev tools that we offer. There's also a ton of opportunities we're always looking for, now that we're an intent-based system, we work with a lot of external relayers that, may do market making or have assets on a chain. And so, if someone has, I don't know, a new asset on Linea that they want to support, we can work with developers to sort of onboard and get their intents running across chain there.
That's super cool. Yeah. No, it's super cool answer, and thanks Moses for that. Any kind of extra kind of comments on how people can reach you out, or in terms of contribution, how people, I assume they DM you, or what's the best kind of way to also ask proposals if they want to be integrated also in Synapse?
Yeah, I am DeFi_Moses on all socials. I can toss that in the chat real quick. But you can reach out through Twitter, Discord, any of those things, and I am perpetually on them, sadly. So you can ping me at any of those things, and I'll get back to you pretty much ASAP. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Moses. Next time I will ask who didn't went to DEF CON or Thailand, because I think everybody in this call is definitely there. Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you so much, Francesco.
Awesome. It was a pleasure having you. Cheers. Okay, cool. I think we have a couple of minutes left. I just want to quickly go through some side things. So this is what happens before. So we've been much active in different events, hackathons, and kind of builder activations. You heard Declan with also the Swiss Lean Association. We're excited also to bring a lot of things more on the table for both the ecosystem, for both builders and much more. One thing that is happening all the time, we have this Life on Linea campaign, so people can actually post on socials tagging Linea what they are building, and we have also the Linea Dev Cook-Off that actually is currently ongoing. We have 80 plus like submissions. It's another 4 days to go. So basically, if you're building a product, you're integrating or deploying on Linea, or using just like specific like dev tooling around Linea, like Verax and more. We're doing this kind of like virtual hackathon month to month. It's 10,000 USDT, and we're also running with different partners, like with the Mira protocol, actually, like this time, and we're super excited to see so much kind of excitement around those submissions. This is one way also that you can contribute, and the second way, if you're kind of like a serious builder in the space, make sure you join also this. We have a something called Linea Builders Club. It's nothing else. It's a Telegram group, but if you have direct question to the core contributors of Linea, you can also ask question. If you're asking for some testnet token, we're always there. We're trying always to answer the question to everybody. So without kind of like further ado, I think I was 1 minute late, but I think thanks so much for also like hearing. There is also like some questions that we will follow up in the chat, but we'll also follow up with some links, also some kind of like links for the slide for anybody that want to kind of like hear more. And yeah, thanks so much, everyone. We are coming back next month. We are always seeing like what's the best end of the, probably like we will either move to the first week of January or the third week of December. But also we want to make sure that we have also enough good content for like fill this 1 hour, and definitely like is not an easy to way to have so many people also like listening to us every month. And I see here like 20,000 plus people. I should not really see this view count, but thanks everybody for finding tune. Also big shout out to everybody that they make these calls possible. There is a team behind this, commenting, like coordinating, like helping with socials, and also like really hearing your feedbacks. Make sure also like you DM us for either if you're building something you want to come and present, and also if you want to be part of kind of the broader Linea ecosystem journey. So thanks